Hello friends, in this particular video I am going to discuss sampling, large sample test, hypothesis testing and so on. Now what is population? Population is an aggregate of objects, animate or inanimate, under study. The population may be finite or infinite. Okay. Now sometimes population investigation is not practical. So suppose if the population is infinite, okay, or if the units are destroyed in the course of inspection. Now, then we have to take the sample. So, what is sampling? A finite subset of statistical individuals in a population is called a sample, and the number of individuals in a sample is called the sample size. Okay. Now, for the purpose of determining population characteristics, instead of enumerating the store to entire population, the individuals in the sample only are observed. Then the sample characteristics are utilized to approximately determine or estimate the population, okay, parameter. So what is population and what is sample? Now suppose we want to investigate the IQ level of our college student. So total number of students say 5,000. Now it is very difficult task to ask questions in or take exam each and every students. So out of 5,000 students we just take samples. Okay, so suppose we ask 30 students. Okay, and from the 30 students we can infer, we can estimate the IQ level of our college student. So this is called the population, this is called the sample. So total sample size is total number of students 5,000. It is the population. Out of the 1,000 randomly choose few students, say 30 students. This is called the sample. Okay. So if the investigation, suppose now two things are there, two parts are there, parameters and statistic. Okay, parameter means population mean, okay, is a parameter. Population standard deviation is a parameter. Population mode is a standard deviation. Skewness is a population skewness is a standard deviation. So these are called the parameters. Now statistic, sample mean is a statistic, sample standard deviation is a statistic, sample mode is a statistic. So population mean, median, mode, standard deviation, skewness all are called parameters. Sample mean, median, mode, standard deviations all are called statistic. Clear? So population and statistic. So suppose we want to know the mean IQ level of our college student. So then in that case we have to investigate the sample, and from the sample mean we have to estimate the population mean. So once again I am telling, from the samples mean we want to estimate the population mean. Clear? That is our actual objective. Now the question is it practical? Is it practical to investigate the sample to know about the population? Actually, if the population size is infinite or very large, so it is not difficult, it is very difficult to check each and every element, or if the investigation is destructive. Suppose our aim is to know the metal strength. Now to know the metal strength we have to break the metal. Now it is not practical to break the whole metal to know the metal strength. So out of say 1,000 pieces we have to break one or two pieces. So from one and two pieces we can infer about the total pieces. Error involved in such approximation is known as sampling error. So okay, so we are not investigating each and every element of the population. We are investigating some of the element. Okay, so obviously we are not, and the reason is based on the sample, not the population. So obviously, not to check the entire population, so sampling error should be there. Okay, so what is population distribution? What is sample distribution? What is sampling distribution? Suppose it's a population. Okay, say total number of data, say 50,000. Now, suppose total number 50,000. Suppose 50,000 people are there. So we can take average height. We can draw a histogram for the height of the 50,000 student 50,000 people. Okay, so this is called population distribution. Okay, so height of 50,000 student, and we want to draw the histogram of the height. Now we can do, now suppose we are taking sample, say 5%, 5%, 5%, 5%, say total 30 samples are there. Now here there must be one mean. Okay, so mean of 5%, height, mean height of 5%, mean height of 5%, mean height of 5%, like this way, mean height of 5%. Okay, now 5% are there, 5 heights are there. For this 5 height there should be one histogram. For this 5% there should be one histogram. Okay, for this 5% there should be one histogram. For this 5% there should be one histogram. Okay, now these are called sample distribution. Sample distribution. Now if you collect all the x1, say x1 bar, x2 bar, to xn bar, and say 30 means are there, and for this 30 mean we can draw another histogram of the mean. This is called sampling distribution. Okay, so population distribution, 5,000 people are there, height of the histogram of the height, this is called population distribution. Take sample, 5%, 5%, 5%, 30 samples are there. We have to take, now calculate the mean of 5%, mean height of 5%, mean height of 5%, mean height of 5%. Now 5% height, height of this 5%, and histogram of 5%, 5% height, histogram of 5% height, histogram of 5% height. These are called sample distribution. Now you just collect all x1, x2 to x30. So 30 means are there. Now for this 30 mean we can draw one histogram, and that is called sampling distribution. Okay, so here mean, mu, and standard deviation sigma. Okay, so if it is a population, mean, mu, standard deviation sigma, these are the parameters. x1 bar, x1 is the mean, s1 is the standard deviation, x2 is the mean, s2 is the standard deviation, x3 is the mean, s3 is the standard deviation, x30 is the mean, s30 is the standard deviation. Now collect all the means. Now there should be one grand mean, clear, and there should be one standard deviation. So we can denote it like this way, standard deviation of this particular data. Okay, so this is called grand mean, and this is the standard deviation of the mean, and this is called standard error. Okay, so what is standard error? Standard deviation of the mean is nothing but a standard error, or standard deviation of the statistic. So this is the parameter, these are the statistic. Okay, mean of the statistic, grand mean, standard deviation of the statistic, that is the standard error. Okay, now actually why should we use this particular concept? Parameters are not known, hence using statistics we estimate the parameter values based on the statistic. Okay, so 5,000 people, infinite data are there. Okay, so how to know the mean of the infinite data? So we have to take the sample, and from the sample we just estimate the parameter value. So from the mean, from the values, from the statistic value, we estimate the population mean and population standard deviation and other statistic. Okay. Next, central limit theorem. If we are sampling from a population that has an unknown probability distribution, the sampling distribution of the sample mean shall be approximately normal with mean mu and variance sigma square by n. If the sample n size is large, say n greater than 30, this is called the central limit theorem. Okay. Now the statement is, if x1, x2 to xn is a random sample of size n taken from a population with mean mu and finite variance sigma square, and if x bar is the sample mean, the limiting form of the distribution of z is x bar minus mu by sigma root of n. Okay, as n tends to infinite is the standard normal distribution. So here x bar is the sample mean, mu is the population mean, sigma is the population standard deviation, small n is the sample size. Okay, and the logic behind is, suppose the population distribution is like that. We take few samples, and if you draw the sampling distribution means this one, and if you draw the sampling distribution, you will get normal curve. Clear? If the population distribution is, say, square, and if you take the sampling distribution from this population, still you will get normal distribution. If it is a normal, if the population distribution normal, then also will get normal sampling distribution. If the population distribution is bimodal, then also the sampling distribution will be normal. Or even if it is arbitrary, then also its sampling distribution will be the normal. Okay, and this is the basic logic behind this particular formula. Okay, so these are the sampling distribution, these are the population distribution. Whatever be the population distribution, whether it is skewed, whether it is normal, square, bimodal, multimodal or arbitrary, sampling distribution always should be the normal distribution, and if it is when n is sufficiently large, generally n greater than 30. Okay, now we'll talk about the hypothesis testing. Okay, now what is hypothesis testing? Hypothesis or assumption is made about the value of a population parameter with the help of statistics provided by a sample. In other words, to make decision about a population, it is necessary to make definite assumptions about the characteristics of the population. For example, about the probability distribution, values of the parameter, etc. Such assumptions about the population parameters are called statistical hypothesis. Using sample statistic, we validate such assumptions, and the method which enable us to decide whether a certain hypothesis is true or false is called hypothesis testing. Okay, so if the sample statistic theta s differs from the hypothesis made about the population parameter theta p, a decision must be made as to whether or not this difference between theta s and theta p is significant. If the difference is not significant, then we do not reject the null hypothesis, and if the difference is significant, then reject the null hypothesis. This is called test of hypothesis. So our main interest in hypothesis testing is whether the difference is significant or not. Okay, now whether significant or not, or whatever may be, first of all we see how many types of hypothesis. Clear? Okay, now there are two types: two-tailed test and one-tailed test. Okay, now one-tailed, there are two more types: left-tailed test and right-tailed test. Okay, now a hypothesis test is a statistical test that is used to determine whether there is enough evidence in a sample of data to infer that a certain condition is true or for the entire population. Now for the two-tailed test, we use 80. It is called null hypothesis. Okay, so always we use equal to sign. And for alternative hypothesis, we use H1. Here it is not equal to. For left tail test, null hypothesis H0 equal to, and alternative it should be less than. For the right tail test, null hypothesis it is H0 equal to, alternative hypothesis it should be greater than. Okay, now suppose there is one machine and it's tasked to fill up a bag with 1 kilogram of material. Okay, so this is machine, and say every hour, say 10,000 bags, it is filling 10,000 bags per hour. Now we want to check whether this particular machine is working properly or not. Bags, okay. And you are taking the weight of that, you will get some difference, we will get some standard deviation, we will get some each and every bag there should not be all equal 1 kilogram. There should be 1.002 kilogram or 1.05 kilogram, or it may be 0.99 kilogram, and it is natural. Okay, it is inherent. It is not possible to fill a bag with 1 kilogram every time. Now now we want to check whether this machine is properly working or not. Now we can take some samples. Suppose we have taken 100 bags. Okay, now and from the 100 you just calculate the mean, and from this mean, from this statistical mean, we want to check whether this particular machine is working properly or not. Now suppose you want to check whether it is working properly or not. In this case, the null hypothesis is mu is equal to 1 kilogram, that is working properly. So remember one thing, null hypothesis always we have to use equal to sign, and for alternative two tail test it is not equal to, for left tail test is left right sign there, and for the right tail it is greater than sign is there. Now if it is H1, so mu is not equal to 1 kilogram. So if we reject this particular null hypothesis, that means machine is not working properly, it is not filling 1 kilogram with material. And if you do not reject the null hypothesis, that means the machine is working properly. More than 1 kilogram. Now suppose you want to material, then that is a loss of the company. Okay, so if you want to check that one, so alternative mu null is equal to 1 kilogram and alternative mu is equal to mu greater than 1 kilogram. Okay. Now we want to check that machine is, so in this case we have to use mu is equal to 1 kilogram and mu is less than 1 kilogram. Now general procedure for hypothesis. Now first general procedure of hypothesis. So first step is steps. Identify the parameter of interest. Suppose we want to know the mean. Okay, we may know know the proportion, or we want to know the difference of the means. Okay, so identify the parameter of interest. Then decide alpha, H0 and H1. Clear? Alpha is the level of significance. So here alpha is the level of significance. 1 minus alpha is the confidence. Okay. Third, calculate the test statistics. We have to calculate the J-calculate, that is called test statistic. And this Z-calculate always should be under H0. This Z statistics always should be the under H0. Okay. And then finally, reject or do not reject H0 based on table value. Reject or do not reject the H0 based on table value, and finally conclusion. Now table value. So how to get the table value? You can see one particular table. From this table we can, now Z alpha by 2, Z alpha minus Z alpha, these are the critical values. These are called critical values. Now for two-tailed test, it is plus minus Z alpha by 2. Now if alpha, these are the alpha values. If alpha is 1%, then Z alpha by 2 will be plus minus 2.58. If alpha is 5%, then Z alpha by 2 is 1.96 plus minus 1.96. If alpha is 10%, then Z alpha by 2 is plus minus 1.645. Similarly, if you are doing right tail test, okay, and you have decided alpha is equal to 1%, then Z alpha is equal to plus 2.33. Similarly, if you want to apply left tail test, if alpha is equal to 1%, then Z alpha minus Z alpha is minus 2.33. Clear? So question is how to do this one. Two-tailed test, say alpha is equal to level of significance, 1 minus alpha is confidence level. Okay, now if we see this particular normal curve, it's a standard normal curve. Its mean value is a 0. Okay, this particular portion is 1 minus alpha. Clear? And alpha is the level of significant. So if it is two-tailed test, here should be minus Z alpha by 2 plus Z alpha by 2. So if you assume that alpha is equal to 5%, alpha is equal to 5% or 0.05, then if alpha is equal to 5%, so plus minus is 1.96. So here plus 1.96 minus 1.96. Now if the Z calculate, so we have calculated the Z statistics. Okay, we have calculated the Z cal. So if this particular Z cal is within this particular range, if it is more than 1.96 and less than 1.96, then then do not reject the null hypothesis. Okay, do not reject the null hypothesis. Now if Z cal value is less than minus 1.96, say minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, or more than 1.96, say 2, 3, 4 or 4.5, then reject the null hypothesis. Similarly, for the right tail test, this is the acceptance region. Okay, accept H0. So we decide alpha is equal to level of significance is alpha. So this particular area is alpha, this particular area is 1 minus alpha. Now if the value Z cal is less than Z alpha, now here alpha you assume 0.05 or 5%, then you can see that, so for right tail test this is 1.645, so this is 1.645. If Z cal value is less than 1.615, then do not reject the null hypothesis. If it is more than 1.645, then it is, if you reject the null hypothesis. You can see here, it is a for left tail test. Okay, now if Z alpha by 2, if it is 5%, then you can see it is minus. If it is 5%, then Z alpha is what? Minus 1.645. So minus 1.645, it is 0 here. If a value, zcal value is less than minus 1.645, say minus 2, minus 3.5, minus 4.2, then reject the null hypothesis. If it is more than minus 1.645, say minus 1.2, 1.5, 2, 3, 4, then do not reject the null hypothesis. And the logic is based on central limit theorem. Okay, and the logic is based on central limit theorem. Now we will see that how it is possible. Suppose there is one population, okay, and already you know whatever may be the population, sampling distribution always should be the normal. Okay, so that we know whatever may be the population distribution, sampling distribution always should be the normal. Now if you take one mean, okay, you have, suppose you have means, and what is sampling distribution? Distribution of the statistics. So distribution of that. Now the arrangement of the statistics or the distribution of the statistics will follow the normal curve. So if it is a standard normal form, so already you know minus 1.96 to plus 1.96, the here it is 95%. Okay, so this is called confidence, 95%. So if you plot x1, x2, x1, x2, x3, x4, so out of all 95% of the statistics, suppose 100 x or bar are there, out of 100, 95 x bar will lie in between the range, nearly. Similarly, if it is 1%, 1% matlab means it is plus 2. Minus 2.58 here, plus 2.58, minus 2.58 plus 2.58. Now if it is that means in between this the total area is, or total area is, it is 99%. So out of 100 mean, 99 number of sample mean will lie in between the range. One may be less than this, one may be more than this. Okay, so if you don't know the distribution of the population, okay, if you don't know the distribution of the population, then but the sampling distribution always should be the normal. And if you take one mean, one sample mean, 95% chance that will lie in between the range. Are you getting this one? If you take any other sample mean, 95% chance that it will be in between this minus 1.96 to plus 1.96. 5% chance that it will less than this or more than this. So 95%, this is called confidence level. This is called confidence level. So remaining 100 minus 95, that is 5%, is called significance level. Okay. Similarly, if it is if you assume alpha is equal to 1%, that means confidence level is what? 99%. Now if you take one sample, say xx bar, 99% chance that it will lie in between minus 2.58 to plus 2.58. That, okay, and the actual mean, the sampling error. The main objective in sampling theory is to draw valid inferences about the sample results. In practice, we decide to accept or reject the lot after examining a sample from it. As such, we are liable to commit the following two types of error: type 1 error, and type 2 error. Now type error is what? Reject A0 when it is true. Type 2 error, accept A0 when it is false. Okay, so reject A0 when it is true, it is alpha, and type 2 error, accept A0 when it is false, it is for beta. Okay, so the meaning is, suppose we are purchasing 100 electric bulbs. Okay, now you have decided that, so it is not possible to check each and every 100 bulbs, so you just take 10 electric bulbs. So n is equal to 10, and you have decided that out of 10, if 5 are not working properly, if 5 bulbs are not working properly, then return back all 100 bulbs to the company. Now unfortunately it may be possible that because you are taking random samples, out of 10, 6 are not working properly, but you don't know that remaining 94 bulbs are the correct bulb, but you are taking the sample of that. So if you are taking sample of that, so it may be possible that you will receive the all faulty bulbs. Clear? Now out of 10 bulbs, 6 bulbs are not working properly, and you have decided that 50% are wrong, then you have to return back. So but you don't know that remaining 94 are the correct, and you have decided 10. This particular is called type 1 error. Or in other situation, here 100 bulbs are there, out of 150 bulbs are faulty bulbs. Okay, these are faulty bulbs, and you are selecting randomly, and you have select 10 bulbs, and out of 10 all are correct bulbs, all are working properly, and you are accepting the wrong lot because 50% are the wrong. So this particular problem is called type 2 error. Accept A0 when it is false. You have to return it back, but you have accepted this particular lot. So that is the problem of type 1 error. This is the problem of type 2 error. So we can't avoid the errors, but we can't reduce the errors. Okay, so that is the end of this particular video. Thank you very much.